Hi, this is Toni Wade, the Compassionate Investor, and we've been talking about living for free. This is an amazing training series, and this one specifically talks about how you analyze your finances. And this is our fifth step. So I'm going to say this one, without this part of knowing where you're at, it's sort of hard to go forward. So you have to be able to analyze your finances in a way where you first of all know where you are, because you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you are. So what I like to do when I think of my finances, I like to make a list of everything that leaves my household. Everything. So, and the best way to do that, don't rely on your memory, please, because you can sit and write down, okay, I got this, I got my rent, I got this, I got that. That's wonderful, but you're going to forget things. So what I want to encourage you to do is go get your bank statement. Once you get your bank statement, and I wouldn't just stop at one, I would go back 3 months or go 6 months. It doesn't matter, but create a list of everything that you spent out of that account every month, okay? Because that's going to let you understand what are you spending your money on, okay? So as you look at your expenses, you then will go through and identify what are the specific things that are considered as your basic needs, like the necessities, like these are the things you must have. These are the things that you just like to have, and then there are things that are just like extra. Okay, but it's important to understand and analyze how your spending habits are, because that's going to allow you to figure out sort of where you can go next. So as you go through identifying those specific things that you're spending money on, you'll start seeing the subscriptions that you possibly have that you probably don't need to have anymore. You'll start identifying the ways, like how often you're actually going out to eat. In a month's time, you're able to see how much money you're spending on gas. Like literally lay all of that out so that you can strategically understand what your finances look like. So once you do that, and once you start identifying all of that stuff on a spreadsheet, your goal is then to zero in on a very small niche of that spending, and that's the absolute stuff that you need. Okay, rent, power, gas, food. Those are your basic necessities. Now, that's what I like to determine. Like once you get that and add that all up, that's what I call your sustainability number. And that's going to be important to you. Why? Because I'm teaching you how to sustain yourself. I mean, it's nice to be able to make a lot of money, but when you know in a month's time, this is exactly what you need to have every month. That number is important because I'm trying to get to where you are making that amount of money every month consistently. If heaven forbid you lost your job today, you can be able to sustain yourself with those basic needs. All the other stuff you could do probably without Netflix for a while if you lost your job today, okay? You could probably go without going out to eat 2-3 times. It's that basic amount of money that you need to survive. Because once you get into a state where you've lost your job, then that number becomes really important to you. It could be $2,300. It could be $5,000. It could be $1,000. But whatever that number is, that's the amount of money you need to have coming in every month consistently, so that if you lost your job, you can breathe a little bit and think about what your next steps are. So that's why I need you going through this particular activity so that you know exactly how you're spending money and where money is going on a regular basis. So getting that sustainability number would be first. Once you know that number, tuck that aside, because we're going to be using that a little later. Now let's talk about all that extra stuff, because one thing you're going to learn about me, I've been talking all along, I am a saver. I'm extremely frugal. I'm not cheap, I'm frugal, and there's a difference. At least that's what I tell myself every day. But in any case, when you get yourself into a position where you are, because I save like I make $30,000, period. And I've done that my entire life that I can, as I think of as an adult life. because that's just in my nature, because I was trained that way with my mom, having to help raise, our family and go buy groceries. My mother tells me all the time, I'm probably the only person she knows that can go to the grocery store with $30 and come back with almost 2 weeks worth of food, because I could do that. I could stretch money, I can make it, but I save like crazy. So long story short, all that money that you make on your job, for instance, let's say you have a job, you make $100,000 a year, right? Now, after the government gets their money and everybody else gets their money, you got a check that comes to you, okay? All that extra money, like, you need to think about what that sustainability number, that's basically what I make sure is paid as a regular. Everything else is considered saved. So I've always acted like I make $30,000 a year. Even if I made millions, I probably would still, because it's in me, it's built inside of me, I probably would still act like that. I count, I'll go get gas at a different place because it's like 3 cents cheaper sometimes. So, I'm always conscious of saving and putting money aside. And I want you to start doing something like that right now. So after you know your sustainability number, let's say it's $2,000. Then $2,000 is what you make sure all those things are paid, and then you pay yourself the rest of it. I really believe, and I don't want to say, because, those of you who believe in tithing, or those of you who want to give other things or give yourself an allowance, do that. But take the rest of it and save it, because that's going to mean something for you later, because this is called pre-work, right? We're putting the things in place to help you get in position where you are prepared and ready for where I want to take you. And that is to be in a state of sustainability. So getting to the point where you know your sustainability number, getting yourself to a point where you are saving, and then thirdly, I need you to pull or find out what your FICO score is. Your FICO score, your credit score, is that number that is assigned to you by TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And basically, all three of them have different unique numbers in which how they have calculated it, but they only care about the one that's in the middle. So if your credit score is from TransUnion 550, from Equifax 565, and from Experian 575, that middle score, that is your credit score. That's your FICO score. And that's our starting place so that we can be able to take you to the next level of where you can fully perform and execute your plan to learning how to live for free. So we'll be back with you in just a moment.